This is the Annihilator. It is a tier 7 Blitz Nation heavy, and it's arguably the most overpowered tank in the game. Many people have their own opinions. Some people say they think the Smasher's better. Some people say the Annihilator's better. I lean towards the Annihilator because this vehicle has 8 degrees of gun depression, it's more mobile, and has a turret which can actually get bounces. So, especially when you're up against higher tiered opponents, this vehicle can actually play properly fine against them, where the Smasher, especially on like Dead Rail, for example, the Smasher doesn't do the best job there. But what's crazy is that Wargaming decided to sell this vehicle and the Smasher in the auctions. And today is the day that the Annihilator was sold. It's already been sold on Asia. It will be sold in maybe 5-6 hours from the time of me recording this video on NA. It sold out in 30 seconds on the Asia server. 30 seconds. How much gold do you think they sold it for? Well, not nearly as much as you'd think, actually. I was assuming that, at the minimum, Wargaming was going to sell the Annihilator for 25,000 gold. It actually turns out that they sold it for 13,000. Yeah, that's quite a bit less. I would have sold, if I were Wargaming, hell, I would have sold it for 100,000 gold, because I know there are some greedy cringe mofos out there that would have spent 100,000 gold on this vehicle. I'm looking at you. I know who you are. You freaking cringers out there. The group of people that are tempted to buy the Annihilator, the group of people that are willing to spend 100,000 gold, are the people that do not care about anything else apart from the fact that it's an overpowered tank and they want to try and spam every single waking moment of their life playing in it, and unfortunately they missed the first time it was sold. Those are the people that want to get their hands on the Annihilator really, really bad. So honestly, I don't care if Wargaming sells this tank for 100,000 gold, because the idea of buying this tank is basically I'm buying it because it's an overpowered, cringe, toxic vehicle. Now, I have already had it. I think I got it for like 15 bucks because it was sold in a Halloween Battle Pass event. And it's crazy how cheap it was when it was first sold. And as always, there were people that were saying it was overpriced, and, well, I don't see people saying that anymore. Point being, the Annihilator is the most overpowered tank, like, in Blitz. And 13,000 gold for the Annihilator is a surprisingly good deal, at least if you ask me. I really don't think that Wargaming was asking too much for this vehicle. I mean, even with only 2 pens onto that enemy K2, I was still able to deal a pretty solid chunk of damage into his tank. Now we have our K2, and I don't really like what's happening here, but what I'm going to do is aim it on the lower plate of the U. There you go, 628. Oh man, but this is bad. This is really bad. The entire enemy team is over here, and our K2 does get the pen into the enemy one. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to push up on this player, and I'm going to aim it on his lower plate. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. 530 health. Done. Okay, that's good. We do have a Black Prince over here. I still have a pretty healthy teammate, so we're doing fine. And we can move up. Let's try and get some damage into the Scorbopian. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Yep, there you go. 390. So I've already obliterated quite a bit of the enemy team. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to push up over towards the Tiger. Let's activate our speed boost. And the reason why is because the enemy's obviously going to try and send our teammate here. So if I aim in on the flat side, the Tiger P, and there you go, 660 health. I've already done, by the way, 2,600 in this game. Like, what? What is this tank? Why does Wargaming think that this vehicle needs to exist in Blitz? Alright, 3, 2, 1. Yep, there you go, 456. You're dead. Alright, we're over 3,000 damage now, guys. We are over 3,000 damage at this point. We're not even close to done yet, though. They've still got an Arak 105 Proto. They got a Panther. Let's aim it on the flat side, that Panther. 3, 2, 1. Yep, there you go, 630. And all that's left is the Arak. Let's see if we can get some damage into that player. We're up to 3,600 already. I don't really care about this enemy Panther, to be entirely honest. The only tank I want to shoot at this point is the Arak. And, well, we're going to see if we can do just that. Come over here, bruh. Well, not able to H you, but, 597. 4,000 damage. 4,000 damage in that battle. And it was a full tier 8 game. I annihilated the enemy K2. Get it? Annihilated. But yeah, I mean, I don't really need to say much else. An Annihilator in even an average player's hands is already like a 65 to 70% win rate vehicle. Just brain dead. Brain rot. Cringe vehicle. Let's try one more game in this tank. Let's see what we can do. Now, I will say something that players might not know is that these vehicles have rigged matchmaking. What do I mean by that? Well, if you actually make your way to a website like Blitz Analysis, which is a data compiler of all Blitz stats, it tells you the highest win rate vehicles, it tells you the lowest win rate vehicles, average damage, what tanks are most played, and it throws all that stat right in front of you. And believe it or not, the Annihilator is not even in the top 5 performing vehicles in Tier 7 for the average player. It's actually like 17th place. The Smasher doesn't even make the list. And if you ask yourself, how is it possible the Annihilator, the most brain-dead overpowered tank in Tier 7, is not making the list for, the top performers? The reason why is because Wargaming has 100% tweaked the matchmaker to give you either higher tier games or to give you worse teammates. If you notice, almost every time you play an Annihilator, it's either you're in a tier 8 battle or you are against an enemy Annihilator. And look at that, another tier 8 game. 100% Wargaming has tweaked the matchmaker so that this vehicle and the Smasher do worse. So keep that in mind. While this is an incredibly overpowered tank, Wargaming is actively trying to throttle your capabilities by either giving you higher tier matches or by forcing you to fight enemy Annihilators or Smashers. That's why it took me over a minute to get into a game there, even though there were like 30 tanks in Tier 7 queue. So, yeah, it's one of the downsides for this tank. Now, to be fair, does it matter? No, not really. This tank has more DPM, armor, and capabilities than most Tier 8s, so it really doesn't matter. And this map here is a great example on why I consider the Annihilator to be better than the Smasher, and it's because this is... Oh, wait, let me aim it on that Eagle 7. Yeah, there you go, 466 off of his tank. We didn't even aim! Because you have 3 shells, one of the 3 will always hit. Like... Alright, well... Oh, we got shot by a Scorpion. Gotta love that. Well, you know what, Scorpion? Let me repay the favor for you there, bro. Yeah, there's 768 gone. Who won that trade? Who won that trade? Let's think about that really quickly. So if the Scorpion's off to that position over there, and... I'd love to be able to shoot that CS, but I think the best play to make right now is I'm going to move over here. Eagle 7. We got 1 pen into. Oh, we got the Luva over here. Okay, I'm going to back up, actually. I don't love this position we're in. It's not even the enemy German that I'm worried about. It's just the fact that my entire team is camping and not really doing anything to help me. But that Luva is a threat at the end of the day. We got 1 into him. Put the CS over here. I'm just going to chill in cover. Oh, no, I can't chill in cover. Wow. Now, this sucks. This actually sucks. Again, it's not this tank's fault. It's the fact that my entire team is camping rather than doing something, and it forces me to be in a terrible situation. Alright, well, it looks like we are finally in an okay hull down spot here. Is the Borsig just going to YOLO up? Let's see what the Borsig's going to do. You know what? I'm going to YOLO up, because I'm not really worried about this tank. Let's see what we can do to the enemy Borsig. And there you go. 766 high explosive. Oh, that's so dumb. That's so dumb. And in 6 seconds, we already have our shells back. The enemy RHM is pretty low at this point. He's dead. We do have the K2. Oh, we got the Eagle 7 over here. Hello. Aw, our 3rd shell didn't pen. What a shame. Oh, darn. Alright, let's reload again here. We got 5 seconds left. K2's pretty low at this point. Wonder if we can get some damage into the side of that K2. Some retribution from earlier. Bonk, bonk, bonk. Well, 227's fine. I'll take it. And that makes the K2 a one-shot for our Borsig, which is obviously pretty nice. We reload again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't really care about you. What I care about is this. There you go. 619 health off of that player. We're up to 3,600 damage, I should mention, at this point. Now, at this moment in time, I'm probably going to die to the enemy Luva. That's pretty obvious. But what I'm going to be able to do is go bam, 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 take 592 health off of that player, and give myself another 600 damage. So, just like that, we did another 4,000 damage game. As I said, it doesn't matter if you fight higher tier opponents. It really doesn't. The tank is so overpowered that you can fight tier 8s and you will still obliterate them. It is by far the most overpowered vehicle in tier 7. And I know the Smasher's great, but the Smasher would not have been able to do nearly half of what I did in this game because of the fact I was able to work that ridge line. And it's so stupid. I mean, that's only a 2nd class in a frickin' tier 7. These were back-to-back games, by the way. Like, these were not, random battles. Even the first game I played in it, I still did 2,800. Like, it's just stupid. So, yeah, I guess have some fun in the tank if you bought it. I don't blame you, to be fair. I'm not mad if anybody buys it. I think it's a fun tank, and honestly, with the way the game goes anyway, it doesn't matter how overpowered your vehicle is. If your team sucks, you're still probably going to lose, but man, is this thing stupid. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.